Hi lovelies, welcome to today's episode. I thought today would be the day that I use a microphone to shoot these videos. Gave it a try and all I feel is the echo of this space, so today doesn't seem like the day that we are going to use the microphone. Today is Sunday. I was in church, minding my own business and winning in life, and as I was scrolling through the social media, I stumbled upon a YouTube channel of a creator who titled her video something about starting over at 37, and I found that video interesting, so I downloaded it with the intention of watching it later when I'm off the internet. So right now is the time I've gotten the chance of listening to her story, and since the video that was recommended on my page is her latest video, I had the privilege of listening to her story when it seems like she's in the winning side of life, where she's gotten a job, she's moved out of her ex's apartment, and she's slowly getting her life together. Something that I'm feeling proud of her from the other side of the internet, much as I do not know her, literally don't even know what her name is. So like any sensible person in 2025 and on the social media street, when you get a story that captures your attention, you click on their profile and you watch more of their content to see who they are, what is the story and stuff. So as I was scrolling through her social media per se, but her YouTube videos, I felt inspired to do this. One of the things that I feel so proud of her is how she is wearing her heart on her sleeves. The thing about her videos is that it is a compilation of short form videos for say several days, in a week, in a month, and it is interesting for me to hear her say words like grieve, and I understand what she's saying when she's grieving, because she's grieving a season. According to the story that I've listened to from her, she was dating a person for 6 years and she was going through a breakup. I think she was also employed in a certain place, and because of the life changes that she was going through, she also lost that, or she ended that too, and she was on a job hunt. Although right now she has gotten a job and she's slowly getting into the groove of things. So it is interesting for me to hear her say how she's grieving and how she is putting a facade in front of her colleagues, her new colleagues. On her first day or on the first week, she was told to introduce herself, say 3 things about herself, and the way she puts a juxtaposition in her story where she can't tell her new colleagues the truth of how much she's struggling, how she's grieving, living with her ex, and all she can say is her 3 favorite things is, I don't know, she likes tacos or something. And I relate so much to her story. But for me, I don't know, maybe it is what am I trying to say? I don't know, maybe it is how new employees, newbies settle in new companies. But had you asked me before now what was the state of my mind, I would have said, I feel like my story is so much heavy for me to just start opening up on a formal setting. If anything, my current workplace is my escapism. It is a place where I get a full 8 hours, 9 hours of not thinking about how hard life has changed for me. So much as I'm grieving, being in the office is not a place where I feel like I am putting on a different face among my colleagues. If anything, it is a place where I feel like I'm taking a rest. I remember when I was looking for a job, when I was ready to go back to work and I was looking for a job, the prayer I told God is I wanted to get a workplace where I could be a hadassah. If you know the story of Hadassah, Hadassah is this lady who had to hide her identity as a Jew. I'm not really sure why she had to hide her identity, but I know her uncle Mordecai gave the instruction. And listening to that girl's story, she tells her story so well. And I know it is her story, but I feel like she's telling my story so well. And she is so raw. She's so authentic. Even as she talks about a grieving process, and what she's grieving is a season, and what I'm grieving is both a season and an entire human being. I love how she told her story. So I decided, no, I won't get into the details of, I don't think I will ever be that vulnerable on the internet. But I wanted to pay homage to the season that I was in. I still want to pay homage to the season that I'm in. In the video I shot last, I tried putting small clips of the videos I had taken of the former place that I was staying. And I mentioned that this is not necessarily for my audience. It is mostly for me. It is mostly to just mark a season. This is like an open air journaling where years down the line you'll look back and remember. You know, it is one thing to remember with your mind. It is another thing to have your memory captured in videos. In fact, sometimes that is one of the reasons that it's one of the incentive I have to keep going in days and in moments such as this. So this video, the purpose of this video is to pay homage, a full-on homage to that season. I intend to do a voiceover after this clip. Thank you for riding with me, and I hope you enjoy.
Accepting grief for what it is extremely difficult and quite hard to do. Because when you experience such a life-changing and traumatic event, the reason for that and why your body, your brain, your nervous system feels all discombobulated is because it is. To have someone that your brain is trained to recognize and that has been there every single day for 20, 30 years or even less than that, but someone that is frequent in your life is quite difficult to accept because you were just talking with them a minute ago. You were just laughing with them an hour ago. You just hung out with them a day ago. And when you are trained to see someone often or talk with them often, to have them snatched away is something that doesn't make sense. And that's why it's hard to understand grief. It's hard to understand and accept that that is something that happens and will happen to all of us, that we will go through the death of someone that we love, someone that we're close with. Because the one thing that we're not guaranteed in this life is the next day. It's why you hear so many people, including me, telling you to tell the people that you love them as often as you can, to give people their flowers while they're here, because not only will it create more love within you and to give those people those compliments or that type of love, but it's going to allow them to do it for other people. So tell the people that you love them, because we're not promised tomorrow. It really is the small things in life that help us to deal with the grief that we're experiencing. It's being able to sleep. It's being able to go outside and get some sun. It's being able to eat properly. It's being able to get up and to do some of the regular tasks that we're going through. By and all, for a lot of us, when we're grieving, we want to be able to, deal with our grief. We want to be able to get to where we see other people that are grieving. And when we go through those small things, when we experience those small things, they help to build up to those bigger things, because it doesn't mean that grief leaves us. That's not happening by any means. But it allows us to understand it. It allows us to process it, manage it, and integrate it into our lives, because that's what happens with grief. You can't get rid of it. It is there with us. But when we experience those small things, it just helps us to deal with it. Having to go through grief, it is a lot. Because the one thing that does have time is grief. It sits there. It waits, it watches. And it taunts you, tapping on that glass, letting you know that, yeah, I've got time. I can wait, but you can't. And then the more that you go through grief, you have to consistently and continually not let it tear you down, because you have to rebuild yourself. But you still have to show love. You still have to make sure that you are staying that person that you want to be, because it can lead you down some dark paths. And I've been there, where you isolate yourself and you don't want to be seen or perceived by anybody, where you just don't want to do anything, and it affects every single part of your life. It affects your personal life, it affects your work life, every single facet of life grief touches. And it's not as easy and as simple as saying, oh, well, okay, I'll get over it.
One of the things I love about being single in this season is how I get around to playing with the setup of my house and currently my living area. So this month, I don't know how long this setting will stay, but this month I've decided that I'm going to change which side of the house is going to be the front area. And that is why you are getting a different perspective. If you ride along, if you've been here for a minute, you know, these are some of the things that I love doing. So today we are sitting on this corner of the house. Who knows where we'll be next month, but I am currently loving this orientation. It's different. One of the reasons I love changing the setup of the house is it makes me feel like I'm in a new place, new season. Just gives that feeling of reset. You know that feeling you get when you do all your laundry, you clean all your spaces, you've done all your utensils, and you're ready for the week. And then you've also journaled, so you've also decluttered your mind, your emotions, and then you've created this beautiful or messy to-do list that gives you some sort of a roadmap of what you expect to do in the week that is coming or in the month. Yeah, that is what organizing and reorganizing the living area feels like for me. Last week I bought myself plants, and I think I went in over my head with a couple of plants. Let me show you the plants. This is a new plant, and they came in a lot of them, so I had to separate them so that they're just not standing alone. These ones have been there for a minute, and I'm trying to propagate some. This one and this stick came with the number of branches, so I'm trying to propagate some of them. Yeah, this is a propagation. This is an old plant that I'm also trying to propagate. This is an old one. And the weather for this place is a little bit confounding, so I'm not sure if I'm doing the right thing. I don't know if they're living or they're dying. But judging from this color, it looks like it's living. But these are all new. This one is an old one that gave birth to this one. The root of the mother died. Yeah, let me show you the one that I think I went in over my head. This one. I need wisdom to know how to take care of this one. I feel like today I put it on direct sunlight, so now it's standing. It doesn't look hot as it did by the time I was bringing it home, judging from the color and how upright it's standing. But my God, I'm not sure where to place it. I know placing it in this window is not ideal because, as you can see, it needs space to stay untouched. But who has the space? This is an oldie, but a goldie. Gave birth to a lot. To this one, to these two that are doing so well, to this one. I gifted one to a former love interest. Stupid human being. Then I'm trying to propagate these ones. This one and anything that you see as small as this one, they are numerous. This one, this one. Look at that. I'm telling you, succulents are resilient. Are you seeing what I'm seeing? This leaf broke, but it's still giving birth to... Wow, wow, wow. So, these ones, they are children of these ones. And they come from here. The most interesting, they come from this. You see these knobs that you're seeing here? Yeah, so these ones are all going to become flowers. And you can see how they need space. Man. And whoever sold it to me, yes, I bought this one. Sold it at 50 shillings. So I'm wondering, where do I keep it? And do we even have the capacity to raise this one? So I wanted to show you a clip of it before it changes form. Whether it dies or it lives, we will know later. Yeah.